It's Takasi, Wednesday, June 17, 2026. It's about 10:28 a.m. I decided to treat myself to a decadly indulgent chocolate donut with cream custard and a coffee, a medium coffee with sugar and cream, which I had decided not to use sugar anymore. But I woke up this morning and I just felt like I wanted to reward myself with something that's sinfully not good for me. And I haven't had a donut in a while, or a coffee with sugar. So I intentionally walked to this KrispyKreme location, and here's a picture of my donut. So I won't finish my donut. Just when I ate to that part, it was delicious. The texture of the donut, the sweetness of the custard, and the mix together was delicious. However, the coffee was is lukewarm. I prefer hot coffee, but it was good. But after I ate to that point that you saw left, I decided I didn't need to eat anymore. That was enough. So sometimes I just like, when we have cravings for things that are not good for us, it's like we say, no, don't eat it. But sometimes I think like we should just allow ourselves to have it. And when we have it, because it's that thought that remains constant, I need it, right? But once you actually taste it, as I ate my KrispyKreme chocolate custard donut, like it felt good, and I kept chewing and drinking my coffee. Probably I'll admit, like if the coffee were hotter, possibly I might have finished the donut. But after eating and chewing, I just came to a realization that was it. I didn't need to consume the whole, even though I consumed most of it, the whole donut to feel sated. That desire that in me that rose, that wanted something sinfully not good for me. So that's it. So sometimes like when we have these needs, desires, rather than fighting it, because what happens, like you avoid it and then you like binge out. So like, go and have it, but like, instead of ordering 2 portions, just order 1 portion, and then taste it. And when I mean taste it, I mean take a bite and chew. Like, they say we have to chew 50 times before we swallow. I really would like to know, is there anybody that actually does that? But really, like, when I've been doing intentional eating, I try to do that. So sometimes I fail, but like intentionally eat and savor the sensation, the taste, the mixing of the ingredients. Savor it and let it sit in your mouth, settle, and just feel the taste, the touch, the flavors, right? And then do that, and and then do that for each bite, and then possibly you might have the same feeling as I do, that you're sated. You don't need to consume the whole portion, right? Or possibly it makes you, wow, I want to devour it. So I could be totally wrong. And I'm not saying anything new. People have said this previous times, I'm like, what is that word? Like when you copy other people's writings and whatever, plagiarism, right? But this is plagiarism of, well, whatever. Like I'm plagiarizing what other people have said. But for me, like, it's a fact that, just having it is enough. And earlier when I woke up this morning, I took my shower. I was lying. I was going to indulge in just like being in bed. But then what's my favorite thing to do? My ego, right? TikTok and YouTube. And I was clicking on YouTube. And it's kind of funny, like how there's feeds now about, I come from Tonga. Lately there have been feeds about like this family visiting Tonga from New Zealand. And so I'm like, I never even clicked on Tonga. Why is it coming up? And then there was like stuff about Bellingham, Washington, which I lived in, like about the city council meetings. I was like, I've never even clicked on Bellingham. Why does it appear in my feed? And then lately, like there's more of like that Tongan family that's doing like a vlog of their trip to Tonga. And then there's other, like there was like a Hawaiian or some Polynesian comedian, and like I never like looked, I don't know why, like if this is a hint from the divine or whatever. And so I'm like, part of me is just like, you guys think that I'm going to follow a script. I'm sorry. I'm just going to follow my script. But anyway, And there was one, it's like a woman younger than me, I'm 55, so I don't know, 40, and she has like a German accent or a European accent, so I don't know if she actually lives in Europe or she's like in the United States and just, happens to be of European descent. But she was talking about how she was sick of this life. She's a chosen, obviously. She was talking about how 6 years of this life, how she doesn't want to be around people because they're boring, they're walking, living their dull lives, thinking they know everything. Well, I'm kind of paraphrasing, this is not her exact words, but basically she was dissatisfied with the way her life is going because, she's a chosen and never done bad or anything to anybody else. People have betrayed her, she turns her back and they betray her. And she was talking about all the negative circumstances of what she's feeling. And I get it. I can understand how she felt. I never felt it to that point that she did. She's kind of like on the extreme end. Was more in the middle type person. So she's talking about all her dissatisfaction. But then there is how it shows comments on and the first comment is her comment saying that I guess after she posted it, it said on my end that it was posted 2 hours previously, which is obviously wrong. But anyway, it said that after, what I read is that I guess after she posted it, her post, then she got divine communication, which kind of made her feel at ease, I guess, about her situation. But she was just talking about, how she feels she's done all this work and nothing has happened, like her financial situation. She said, don't even talk about it. And then she was talking about how she wants to meet other people like her, but where she lives, there's nobody like her, right? And all she sees are these boring people, unawakened people, right? So I was listening to that, and I was kind of like, that caught me because she's so real. You could tell she really means what she says, and I could understand her point of view. But I would really the first impulse I was thinking when I saw her talking, I was like, you breathe, you woke up, that's a gift. You're talking, you obviously have a powerful voice, so that's a gift. And she looked like she wasn't homeless. This is just my assumption because, you just because you look a certain way doesn't mean you're not homeless, or just because you don't look a certain way doesn't mean you have a home or whatever, that you may look homeless but you're not. But anyway, she looked like in a clean environment, clean shirt, groomed or whatever, right? So I'm assuming at least, she's not kicked out that day. She has shelter, food, clothing, right? And I was like, when she was talking to all her negatives, I was like, hello, you're breathing, you're alive. And you're able to talk, you're able to communicate, you have a powerful voice because you're able to convey explicitly what you're feeling, right? That's what I was thinking as I was listening to her. And then I was like, oh, and then I thought, oh, you know what? This is too good. So I said, I'll pause it. And then that's when I decided I'll come and indulge myself with a KrispyKreme. So then, I turned off the phone and went and got a Comet spray. So I cleaned up, I folded my blankets, I cleaned the floor, swiped and wiped it with paper towels, everything spick and span. And then I came out here and I got my, my donut and my coffee, which is lukewarm, not hot. But hey, it's coffee, it's sugar. And so I started, I finished listening to her post. I didn't read the comment about her being enlightened. And then my ego, scrolling through, looking at stuff. And then there was one, Liana Soul, so I was listening to her thing. And then I just came to realization. Also, it's because of that European woman, when she said that it feels like there's no purpose, nothing changes. It's what is she even doing it for? What is her purpose? And I just had a thought. And so as I was eating my donut and looking outside, here's the view outside. So I was eating my donut, I just had a thought that I wanted to post something. And don't tell me, I already know that I said I don't like social media, and I deleted all my posts. and that it's not for me. And yes, I am shamelessly using social media. I'm shamelessly using TikTok, even though I said I don't agree with it, I don't like it. Why? I'm shamelessly using it is because I have no other option to speak out my views, and there's just strong desire in me that I need to speak it out. Not like I'm going to erupt or anything, but there's just strong desire that I need to vent, speak it out, and this is my only option. So yes, I'm going back on my words, but hello, I'm just admitting it face to face to you. I'm shamelessly using YouTube, even though I said I don't agree with social media, but yes, I'm shamelessly using it, and because this is my only option, I know, but I'm being truthful. So here's one thought that I got from listening to her, and I think people don't understand is, I've done my little jibber jabber, and if you've listened, and if you don't know, you don't need to know. It's not life-changing. Well, for me, I think it's life-changing, but majority of you don't think it's life-changing, so it don't matter that you don't know what I'm referring to. But what I'm saying is, if you want to make a change in your life, like a positive change, I mean, not going to the dark side. I have no advice for going to the dark side. It's your choice. I'm not going to say don't go to the dark side. I'm just saying it's your choice. So I have no advice for if you want to go to the dark side. There's plenty of people that you can get advice from. Just look at the internet. There's plenty of ways to do it. But what I'm focusing is if you want to make a change in your life for the good, and if you listen to my jibber jabber talking about how I changed my life, there's one thing you need to realize. The first thing that's very important is assume that there's no God, there's no consciousness, there's no spirituality, that you will do all the good things, you will love people wholeheartedly, you will do the kindest thing, you will remain poor all your life, and you will get castigated, you will get slurs, you might be out homeless for the rest of your life, but you continue to do good, right? And just know that when you die, when you leave this existence, that's it. There's no heavenly, there's no praise, nobody says good job. Assume that that is the way the world is. So if that is the way the world is going to be, are you still going to do what you're going to do? So let me tell you, I chose 100% that it don't matter if I die, leave this existence, and I don't get rewarded. I don't get the angels. I don't get the choir. I don't get the gold houses, which I was never into anyway. I don't get the accord. I don't get the ha. Then it don't matter. I'm still going to choose to be me. I'm still going to choose to 100% love humanity. I'm still going to be the person that I always was, loving to people, treating them the way I want to be treated. And frankly, I'm not no Mother Teresa. There's a lot of people in the world that piss me off, and I wish I could literally do a roundhouse kick. Like, would I actually do it? No. But like in my thoughts, like my frustration, I would say, like, I literally want to smack them, pull down their butts, and give them whack, 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 right? Not like with a belt or anything, but my bare hand. But then I would use somebody else's hand because it hurts my hand to whack them on their bare butts. But you get what I'm saying. I choose to live this way, even if the thought is that I don't get acclaim, I don't get praise, that I will die a miserable death and people will hate and castigate me. I choose to do it just because it feels right and it makes me feel good to treat people the way I want to be treated. Because there's plenty of people already in the world that are doing the opposite of what I'm doing. The majority of the world is doing the opposite of what I'm doing. So I choose to do this knowingly, even if there's no rewards, even if I'm the only person in the world doing it. I choose to be this, just me, just loving people and doing the best that I can. Not hating, and yes, just appreciative of who I am, the gifts I'm given every single day. So that's what I want to tell you. If you can accept that premise, that might be the reality for you, and you're still going to continue to do the things you do, then go ahead and live the beautiful, courageous life you choose. But if you can't accept that premise, that because you want the benefit, then don't do it. Don't do it. Stay in your life doing exactly what you're doing. Don't change. Because when you change and you expect something in return, I'm sorry, it ain't gonna happen. You have to choose 100% to be who you are, to live your truth, doing the courageous acts of love, compassion, without any expect of reward, recognition, because that's the whole thing with Christianity. People do it because they expect, in the end, I may suffer this role, but in the end, I'm going to get all this glory. I'm building my house. It's like, stop. Choose to do so if it just makes you feel good to do it, not because of any expectation, because if you do that, you're doomed for failure. So if you want to follow my path, recognize that there could be no recognition, right? But would you still choose to act so? And if you knew there was no recognition, don't do it. Stay in your life doing whatever it is you're doing, Live under the delusion. I don't want to be sarcastic here, but just live your life, doing the best you can. But don't change your life expecting there to be like rewards and blah, blah, blah. And, I just wanted to put it out there because that's kind of the feeling I got when I watched that European woman saying what's the whole point of doing it? And my whole point is, people want to do something because they want to change. I don't expect to change the world. What I expected to change, and which I did, is I changed myself. I changed my reality. I changed my world. I don't have the power to change anybody else's world or the world, period. You only have the ability, the capacity to change yourself. Recognize that. And I'm not saying anything new. What I'm saying is plenty of people have said what I've said. I ain't no different, right? So this is what I say is if you want to make the change knowing that it makes you feel good. And it don't matter if people don't respond to you. It don't matter if at the end, kaput, you're ended, your life is ended, and there's no recognition, there's no angels. If you can accept that, then change. And if you can't, don't change, because it'll only bring heartbreak, disappointment, more chaos in your world. That's all I wanted to say, my little sharing. There's just a desire. And I know I'm shamelessly using YouTube. I don't agree with it. I don't like it, but I like that it gives me this opportunity. So I say it. I'm shamelessly using your YouTube. But so what? A lot of people are using it. I'm just shamelessly using it because this is my only opportunity now. But I'm still pondering about things. Like I said, I'm still pondering. And it's with me, it's crazy. I'm pondering, and then when I talk to myself, by myself, I'm pondering. And when I speak, do a post, I'm pondering, and new revelations come up. So yeah. So that's all I wanted to say. I love you, whoever you are. I love you.